Welcome back. It's Lessons for Life 24/7, the Christmas special. And I wanted to get Babar Ali's advice. I'm asking for a friend. But what if someone feels that they are really stuck in a rut, and Tyson Fury springs to mind, the guy ballooned up to 28 stone, and he did come back for it. But how do you take the first step to climb that mountain when you've let yourself go to that extent?
I think the first step always is your intention.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what you really want for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You really have to ask those hard questions to yourself and say, okay, what do I really want for myself? And then, you know, if you come to the conclusion that you really want to change your life, you want to be the best you can be. You know, you don't want to settle for mediocrity. You go on your way, because the intention is very strong, you know. And then you just have to start working day by day.
Someone said to me once that we're always either going forward or going backwards. There's no maintenance. There's no staying still. You're either improving or
you know, Bruce Lee said, you know, the only problem is plateaus, and we must always break through them. So, yeah, if you are stuck in a rut, if you are plateaued, you know, you really just have to not give up and keep asking yourself those questions. You know, do affirmations. Affirmations really work.
What's an affirmation?
Affirmation is like telling yourself constantly, I want to be better. You know, giving yourself positive talk. And it really helps. If you constantly give yourself positive talk, it starts shining through.
And is that actually
actions.
Verbalized? Are you actually saying it to yourself?
You could verbalize it, or you could just talk to yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
And these are words that you repeat? Or?
Yeah. You can repeat certain sentences. You can say things like, day by day, I'm getting better.
Okay.
You know, do certain affirmations. You know, we're Muslims, where we do a lot of zikr, for example, where you're constantly mentioning the word of God. You're praising God, mentioning God continuously. That's another way. But there's nothing wrong with do affirmations to yourself. You know, giving yourself self-talk. You know, if you're like someone like me, for example, who never had a coach, who's going to motivate you? Who's going to push you?
Motivate yourself.
You've got to do it yourself.
Yeah.
So you've got to give yourself that constant talk. You know, check yourself out in the mirror. There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely nothing wrong.
Check yourself out in the mirror. See where you're at. See where you want to be. I know Arnold Schwarzenegger used to do that a lot.
Yeah.
You know, he used to really expose, you know, look at himself in the mirror and say, okay, I want to change this. I want to change this.
He didn't like his legs, did he?
He didn't like his legs. You know, he didn't like his calves particularly.
How much of that can you do before you're becoming anorexic or body dysmorphic and thinking I'm never perfect? Arnold Schwarzenegger had a physique that most men, you know, would be very jealous of, and he's not happy because his calf is slightly smaller than the next.
Yeah, you know,
bodybuilder.
Julian. I mean, I think where you're coming at now is a little bit. It's a difficult subject, sensitive subject.
It is
mental health.
It is. Well,
you know, you can be genuinely mentally ill, or you can just be a little depressed.
Okay.
There's a big difference.
And how do we know the difference?
The difference is a genuinely mentally ill person really has no control over how they feel. The brain is operating not on a stable basis. The serotonin levels are going up, down, up, down, up, down. So they're constantly fighting a constant battle between being up and being down, being up, being down. But when you have someone who is just down, you know, they can fight their way out of it. And lifestyle changes really determine that.
So serotonin levels, yet again, are another physical thing that we can measure.
Yes.
So mental health is a tangible, actual thing. It's not just a spectrum, and we all feel good sometimes and bad other times. And if you're not having a productive life, you're not going to feel good.
Yeah, I mean, yes. Like, for example, if you're someone who doesn't take care of themselves, someone who refuses to really get up and go, it will make you sick.
I've heard people say that mental illness is just a myth, and it's an excuse for people that are not motivated to say, "Oh well, I'm not well." I mean, there are
people who play, you know, the victim. There are people who play the victim or are mentally ill, but there are a lot of people who are genuinely mentally ill.
Pleading insanity is the oldest excuse. I'm not, by the way, slating mental illness. I'm just saying what some people say.
Yeah.
And what about addiction? Is that a mental illness? If someone is addicted to something, are they mentally ill? Are they sane?
If you're addicted to something,
Yeah.
I mean, addiction is a completely different thing.
Is it?
Yeah, because addiction is something that takes over you.
And is it in your mind?
Yes, but it's a lot to do with willpower as well.
Is it not mental health then? If it's an affliction of the mind, is it not?
Let's take for example someone who suffers from bipolar disorder.
Mm-hmm.
Genuinely.
Okay.
So a person who suffers from bipolar disorder would find it very difficult to maintain a steady line in their mentality.
Yeah.
You know, one day they'll be up, you know, thinking that they're going to be a Hollywood star. The next day they'll be down in the dumps thinking that, okay, I want to end it.
Mm-hmm.
That person will always struggle through life. Why? Because their mind is not operating correctly. But what I want to get to is, even a person who has severe bipolar disorder,
Yeah.
they can change elements of their lifestyle that can, you know, indicate, okay, you know what, I'm not feeling too good today, I've got to calm down.
And are they remedying and curing their illness, or are they just managing their condition?
A lot of it's managing.
Okay, but they'll always be bipolar.
There will always be a problem, yes.
And is that because of a chemical imbalance?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
It's like, for example, if you take someone who is obese,
Mm-hmm.
their metabolic system
Yeah.
is not the same as mine and yours.
They're
So
predisposed to being like
exactly. So no, don't matter what they do, they will never have that hard body look. They will never have that appealing magazine cover look. Do you understand what I'm saying?
this. No matter what?
More than likely.
Can they get closer to it than they are now?
I mean, realistically, someone who is severely obese will struggle. I mean, to get close to it will be hard as well. They can have a physique where they will look good in clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? But to say that you will get a ripped six pack and a chest like Arnold
Well,
Schwarzenegger.
I mean,
no?
if they up the protein, reduce the carbs, and do cardio, will they not naturally just lose body fat?
They really have to embrace the lifestyle, Julian.
Okay.
You know, there's no short fix.
Okay.
You know, so for example, if a severely obese person came to me and they said, okay, I want to look like this, I would tell them that, look, we need to set realistic goals for you in stages. Do you understand? The first stage would be changing your eating habits. Then we will go on to other things and other things. But I would really put it into their mind that this is for the long haul.
Do you know about SMART targets?
No.
It's an acronym. SMART, specific,
Yeah.
measurable, achievable,
Yes, smart. Sorry, I do know.
realistic,
Yes. I
and
know.
time.
Yes, I know.
So
that.
it's something that you can definitely do.
Yeah.
We can measure whether you've done it or not.
Yes.
Like losing weight or losing body fat percentage. It's realistic, and you're going to do it by
This time.
this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that, I assume, goes for anything that you want to achieve.
Yeah. I mean, for example, I'm coaching someone at the moment. I've been coaching them for 8 months. It's been intense.
Yeah.
So they've gone from someone who didn't really know how to box to someone who can box.
Okay.
And if he wants to have a fight, he can have it now.
Yeah.
And he actually would win. I mean, I'm pretty confident of that. But I put it into his mind that this is a long-term thing. This is not something that you're going to train for 6 weeks and now you're going to be a champion. You know, you really have to dedicate yourself and submit to the graft and the learning process.
What about your favourite undefeated boxer, Freddie Flintoff? What was his purpose of getting in the ring? I mean, some people just want to do it once, like a parachute jump, and say, I did it.
Why
And
not?
I respect that.
Why not? I mean, for me, if you want to do boxing, it's all down to you. But you need to check your intention. Do you want to do it for fitness, or do you want to do it as competitively? And I think a lot of young guys, when they look at boxing on the TV, and they think, "Ooh, I could be like that."
Everybody wants to fight until it's time to fight.
Exactly. So they look at it and they look at the glamorous side. Oh, wow, how glamorous. This guy went in the ring.
Yeah.
All these people were watching. Yeah. He knocked him out. He got all the glory. I can do that.
They don't see the behind the
Exactly.
scenes, the
So I always tell the young guys that you really have to check your intention, because you could be saying one thing, but you're actually showing another. So you'll get individuals who want the glory, but when you see him in the gym training, you know that this person is not going to make it. Why? Because he just doesn't have the work ethic, you know, or he doesn't have the ability, you know, to do it. And at the end of the day, we know, you know, fighting arts, they would bring out the truth. You know, it's not something that you lie. You cannot go in the ring and lie.
That's right.
The truth comes out anyway.
That's right.
So, but as a coach, it's my job to protect them.
Yeah.
You know, I don't put them in situations where they are going to be hurt or exposed or humiliated. That's not I'm not interested in that.
Yeah. I think definitely the egos have to go out the window when it comes to combat sport and any form of fighting, because in a team sport, you can hide at the back. You can be a bad player on a good team that can carry you. You can be a great player who's held back because you're not on a very good team, but you can't give it the big un and pretend that you're a great fighter, whether it's a judoka or a boxer or a Muay Thai. When you get in the octagon or the ring, we're going to find out.
Yeah, definitely. And whether you're a person who wants to get fit or whether you're a person who wants to compete, you have to embrace the process. And that's the problem people are having. They don't want to embrace the process, Julian. You know, it's like they want that instant gratification. It's not going to come. You know, they really have to submit themselves. And it's really hard to tell people these days that, you know what, you got to give it 6 months, you got to give it a year. And they don't want to hear that.
I want it now. Yeah, we are living in a time when everyone wants everything now.
Everything. And the fitness industry, this is why the fitness industry makes so much money. Because people are constantly falling for these quick fixes. 6-week plan, 8-week plan, boot camp, this, that, or this, or that. And they think that, I'm going to do this and I'm going to reach my goal.
Beach body ready.
And then you've got the other side as well, where young guys taking testosterone or steroids. That's the other side.
Okay.
You know, so instant gratification. People are into it.
Is that a shortcut, testosterone or steroids?
Yes.
Does it get the results quicker?
It will get your results quicker to a point, but it's not sustainable. And if you're a young guy and you're taking steroids, you're really risking your health.
Okay.
Your body will. You know. How do you know that your body won't will stop producing natural testosterone after?
Where you and I were at a bench press competition that you organised,
yes.
And Dave French was there. Who else came down? A former world champion lifter, and he said,
yes.
Stay away from the steroids.
Yes. I mean, and you'll find that a lot. You find guys who have been competing at bodybuilding or weightlifting, and they might be older now, and they're probably feeling the effects. You know, the natural testosterone levels are probably shot. They're constantly probably feeling weak. They probably always feel sick or ill, and it's all down to their natural testosterone levels being shot completely
from abusing.
Yeah.
But are there ways we can maintain the natural testosterone?
Yes.
What about test boosters as opposed to synthetic testosterone?
No. If you want to improve or increase
ZMA, zinc, magnesium.
Sorry, American term.
Or
ZMA.
You say
if you want to increase your natural testosterone levels or maintain them, if you're a young guy, because if you're a young man, your natural testosterone levels should be high, but it's not always the case because some people naturally have low test. It's just how they are. Yeah. But you can do certain things. You can implement in your daily lifestyle. Have correct sleep. Cut out junk food. Eat a good source of protein. Do a rigorous weightlifting program, because lifting weights is anaerobic, so that triggers a lot of the testosterone.
And why not take the zinc and the magnesium or the horny goatweed?
You can do that.
Okay, but as you say, it's not an answer, is it? It's got to be a holistic effect.
Yes, it's a holistic.
People want the pill, I can take.
It's
now.
a lifestyle.
Yeah, okay.
It's a lifestyle. So you could get young guys who genuinely are a bit weedy. Mm-hmm. They don't have that. They struggle to gain muscle. But they can do certain things if they're willing to change their lifestyle. And that goes for older guys as well. Because older guys, just because you're older doesn't mean that you have to have low test. You don't need to have low test.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's hope for everybody.
Yeah.
Baba, thank you for the advice. We'll be back after this.